All right. Welcome back to another week of Wide Right CFB. Uh, man, I tell you what, we've had an interesting backstream so far with technical difficulties. Week number 2. Look, it's so bad. Hunter didn't want to show his face. All right. Okay, I was gonna pull. I'm so afraid to touch anything on the computer screen right now. So I'm gonna use my phone to the wall of TVs to my right. We're gonna knock out this deal. I'm gonna go over kind of what we're gonna do going forward. So moving forward, whether we have a live stream or a pre-recorded show, we are always going to start with our salute to the service academies, no matter what. Then we're going to go into our conference breakdowns, and then we'll rally around the marquee matchups, which will be our head-to-head games where we pick against each other. Now, we talked about doing this beat the pluck. We're going to beat the pluck out of that idea and put it to bed. So what we're going to focus on is just our pick'em side of the deal. So we are a pick'em show. We do football pick'ems, and most of the time, Hunter is our resident expert. Lindsay, since Jude is not here, has no idea what he's going to pick. None.
No, nope. I'm going to do it on the fly.
Yep. So he's going to do it on the fly, and Hunter's doing his best Joker face right now. All right. So grab your drink, sit back, enjoy the next amount of minutes while we do this. We're going to hop right in. Let's go with salute to the service academies. Lindsay, do you know if your team is playing this weekend?
I am trying to bring up the schedule as we speak, but we're playing August 29th. No, that's women's soccer. Wrong sport. Right academy, wrong sport. Where the heck is their men's sports? Come on. Football. Lord, no. September 5th is their first game against Montclair in Kings Point, New York. It's Parents Weekend, sponsored by Flow Sports.
Boy, you know what? Flow Sports charges enough money that
it's got to be a good deal.
I think they should be on Lloyd's of London. They're so expensive.
Anyone will be there.
Yeah, for sure. All right, Brian Stewart's in the chat. Hello, Brian Stewart.
Hey, Brian.
Or hear from you, or read your text.
Ladies and Lindsay.
Ladies and Lindsay. I think he was talking about you all 3 times. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to cover the big 3 right now because I don't think the Coast Guard Academy plays till September 5th as well. We got one more week off. We're going to roll right into tomorrow night, and the first game of the Service Academy is going to be. Where is it? Don't leave me. Don't leave me. Don't leave me. I lied. We're going to go into set. Oh no, it is tomorrow at 5 o'clock.
Yeah, it's Friday.
Sports Network at 5 p.m. from Mikey Stadium in beautiful West Point, New York. Now, I've never been to beautiful West Point, New York, but what I'm going to say is that the pictures of the stadium are pretty awesome. It's right on the Hudson River. It's pretty neat. So, with that being said, Cowboy U travels to West Point, New York. Hunter, Army is my choice of. Well, it's not my choice. It's the Service Academy I cover. I don't know what to think about Army going into this year. I know that they've been hit by the transfer portal, right? Now, the Service Academy is your unique thing. You could transfer out of the Service Academy. You basically have to buy yourself out, but you can't transfer in. You have to come in as a freshman. So you got to think about it. All their talent is developed in-house, right?
Yeah.
But does Tarleton State, do they hang around in this game, or is this over early?
I mean, hard to say. Army's replacing their quarterback, running back, fullback. They're both their B-backs, a couple of linemen. It's a lot to replace for a triple option offense before you can go and say, like, they'll be good or they'll be bad. Like, what we've seen from the prospective replacements has been good, but the triple option offense can change so drastically year to year in terms of how it operates, what plays work, what formations are best for it, how the quarterback leads the team. Does he have like the X factor of being able to throw? Does that change things? Is he just going to be like Bryson Daly, where he's just another fullback on the team? It really depends on so many things that come with how it all works.
All right.
But
So
Army is more talented, and I would say probably better coached than Tarleton State. Like
we did
Tarleton State, yeah, they blew out Portland State, but there was a lot of fumbles, a lot of turnover on downs.
we did watch
I
Charles
think Army still wins.
play last year, so I mean, I think numbers to numbers. I think Army is probably going to match up a lot better against uh, Tarleton State than vice versa. You know what I mean? Like I think they're going to have more favorable matchups. All right. With that said, I'm picking Army to cover by a lot, like a lot, like a lot. There is no spread on this because there's no spread.
Tickets
All right.
are $6.
Yep. All right. At 11 a.m. on Saturday, I'm gonna tell you right now, nobody's watching this game, but well, except for the parents of the people whose kids are playing in this game. VMI travels to the Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium in Annapolis, Maryland, to take on the midshipmen of Navy. Hunter, now Navy is your service academy of
Yep.
choice to cover.
Okay.
I'm gonna go on a limb here. I'm gonna say that you're gonna say that VMI has no shot, and that Navy is gonna just warm themselves up against these guys.
I mean, I think like it'd just be like a 50 to really like you'd kind of want to see a shutout or close to it. VMI is not a very good team. They run a triple option offense, but they're just I just should say they're not very good. Um, they're just not very talented, and Navy's a lot better at every facet in the game. The VMI doesn't have like any players that you go and say, "Oh, this guy could be good somewhere else" or anything. Um, yeah, I would just go with like I don't know, 50-7, something like that. So just it's a beatdown. Should be, needs to be.
All right, and then on to the only service academy that has a line. Air Force at 2:30 p.m. takes on Bucknell on CBS Sports Network from Falcon Stadium at the United States Air Force Academy in Colorado, which is
Colorado
it's
Springs,
well, kind of.
very. I mean, it's in there. It's very nice.
Yeah, it is very nice. Air Force Academy's favored by 31, 55.5 over under. Hunter, I don't see Air Force losing the Bucknell. I don't even think this game's going to be particularly close. Is it going to be like the VMI game where you really should look for a shutout in this game? You shouldn't allow any points.
No, Bucknell is much more. Bucknell is very well coached. They score points. Actually, I think they were one of the best offenses in the FCS last year. They did in 2023, 2024. They were still pretty good. They usually score a couple points, but I mean, I think Air Force runs away with it. I don't know about 31 points. That might be it might be like 31-14. I don't know. It kind of looked like the USF Boise State game.
Where it just got just progressively more of a beatdown the later they went into the game.
Yeah, the longer it goes, the more Air Force will separate. It kind of looked like how Bucknell lost to Air Force and Army or Army and Navy last year. Both teams that they played last year, it just over time they set the academy separates just because guys start missing their keys, they start missing their assignments, they get tired, they get a step slower.
Yep.
Pitch touchdown. All right. And then the academies aren't going to show a lot in these first games. They typically try to hide a lot of stuff with their offenses against like lesser competition. So we'll
All
see.
right. I'm going to turn to Lindsay here. Lindsay, do you concur?
I do. Air Force is just a superior team in every way. I would look for them to more than cover that spread and look for an over, which is at 55.5.
All right. What about Navy versus VMI?
Oh, that's not even. It's that's going to be a laugh from the jump. I agree with Hunter. I wouldn't be surprised to see a shutout. It's just one of these lopsided games that, if you remember from last year, I remarked quite a bit that I'm not a fan of these lopsided games. They're not really much fun to watch, and I would put this in that category.
Well, I'm going to go with all the home teams favored in this one. So I'll take all the home teams. All right. With that said, moving on. We're going to go to conference breakdown, but really what we're going to do in conference breakdown is we'll talk about a couple of the marquee games from each conference. Lindsay, you have the ACC and the American Conference, I believe, from last year.
Yep.
But I don't want to get too big into any games coming up because there's some our marquee matchups. I want to stick to those. But what I will say is in the ACC, we do have some games of note that I'd like to just mention quickly. One of them is East Texas A&M at number 16 SMU, and this is on Saturday at 8 p.m. from Gerald J. Ford Stadium in Dallas. I actually know somebody playing in this game. So there you go. Good luck, Wesley. Do well. And then I'd also like to point out, I think a game that's pretty interesting, but it's not going to get a lot of eyes to turn. It's going to be Coastal Carolina at Virginia. I think that's going to be a solidly sneaky good game because I think both teams are about on their each one's level, and they might just be good enough or bad enough. You know what I mean? To exchange on that.
That should be a good close game. Would you favor watching that game over California or Oregon State?
Ooh, I really think Oregon State's going to be pretty good. They do have a solid quarterback now, and Malik Murphy, former Texas Longhorn, former Duke Blue Devil. So I like Oregon State over Cal, and really I like Oregon State over Cal by a lot. Cal's replacing a quarterback who left. Oregon State has brought in a quarterback, but I think they've upgraded to a really solid passer. So I look for that game, and it's going to be like a late night game. It'd be fun to watch. It'd be like a good nightcap.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But then we also have some really big games in the ACC. ACC's got a lot of really interesting matchups. I want to save Notre Dame and Miami for our marquee matchups because this is a long-standing. They used to call it Catholics versus convicts, right? That's a long-standing matchup. I think that's going to be an excellent game. Vatech at South Carolina. First game, man. First game of the season. To have that matchup there, I think that's going to be fun. I think South Carolina is going to win this game without a problem. But I think Vatech comes up fired up. I think they make it interesting for a little bit. And then TCU and North Carolina on Monday. I want to say that North Carolina stands a chance in this game, but I think TCU's offense is going to come out this year and set the place on fire. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. But just to give people an idea what our marquee matchups are going to be for the week, what we're looking at, definitely Georgia Tech at Colorado. I'm going to let Hunter expand on that one a little bit in marquee matchups because I think he's got a really unique take on this. I'm sorry, but Fordham at Boston College isn't going to make it, Lindsay.
Oh, come on.
But I'm going to throw this one in there because Hunter's really going to laugh at me. Syracuse at Tennessee. And Hunter's going to tell you a really good reason why Syracuse probably is going to win this game. So
I don't know, probably could
win this game. Look, I got to make it sound interesting. So, you just got to give me the, I don't know, badge. But,
the ground could open up and swallow Tennessee whole, and then Syracuse wins by default.
So, Lindsay, what do you think about this TCU North Carolina game? TCU's favored by 3.5. They're playing in Chapel Hill.
It's not a surprise that this is going to be a very highly watched game. I'm surprised I haven't been hearing more about it leading into this weekend, but I'm very interested to see how North Carolina does. I think there have been enough changes there to make it one of the games to watch simply for the curiosity factor alone. So I look for great things there. I know TCU's favored, but not by much. I would root for North Carolina on this one but I don't know they're going to pull out. I do agree that TCU is probably the better team going in, and I think they're going to cover that spread.
Yeah. I think that TCU's got a distinct advantage over North Carolina because they have a returning quarterback and they have an offensive coach that is going to offend North Carolina fans early and often.
Yeah.
All right. Let's roll back to one more game I want to talk about before we get moving too much. And then I want to talk about last week. We had Stanford at Hawaii, and Hawaii gets the victory 23-20. Micah Alejado had a good game, played through an injury. Hawaii came to play. Defense came to play. They looked like they wanted to win that game. Hunter, I know you have some insider knowledge on this game. What did you think about this game?
I mean, Hawaii had like the safety to start. Like Stanford looked like like something had changed. They ran the ball well, settled for the field goal, or actually I think it was a touchdown. So no, it was yeah. Anyway, settled for the field goal, and then they kick off. Hawaii gets set up at the 1 yard line because mental error there on special teams, and they got the safety. And I thought, oh, here we go. Like Stanford's just gonna run away with it now. And credit to Hawaii's defense, they stepped up the whole game. Uh, really, I mean, like they didn't give a lot to Stanford. Stanford didn't look very good. The quarterback was had a rough day, and then Hawaii just kept plugging away for opportunities. They kept looking for ways to win, and they got the victory. Alheido there is the spirit. There's just you can just tell he's the total leader of the team. Um,
All right.
Hawaii will go as far as he goes.
Most important question of this whole thing: is he 5'10"?
Maybe on a box of apples.
All right, Lindsay, are you going to wrap it up the ACC right there and moving to the American Conference?
Yep.
All right. So, in the American Conference, a game that would have been in one of our marquee matchups, I would have picked this just for the G5 aspect and Boise State going to South Florida. It looks like South Florida just came and delivered the lumber throughout the game, which is good. And also, our prediction of a really good game between North Carolina State and East Carolina last week looks like it came to fruition with North Carolina State getting the win 24-17. So that looks like that was a good game. Now, we've already talked about the Army-Tarleton State game. We have App State at Charlotte, which could be interesting. But we also have Northwestern at Tulane, which could be really an interesting game as well. I think that Tulane's a pretty good team. I think Northwestern's a team on the rise. And then, obviously, we have a really big team playing an American team this week in UTSA, going to College Station to take on the Aggies. And then a sleeper game I think we could talk about also is Rice at Louisiana. Lindsay, what do you want to cover here?
Let's talk Northwestern and Tulane. I believe that is one of those games that isn't going to get all the attention better played than what I think we're being set up for. I'm looking for a close game on this one. Tulane does have some advantages over Northwestern, and as long as they keep a defense intact, they're able to hold down Northwestern's offense, I think they're going to win. Not by much, but I think they're going to cover that spread and win by a touchdown.
All right, you want to know an interesting fact about this game?
Sure.
For $6 whole, you can go watch this game.
That's true.
In person.
Yep. You can buy 2 tickets to go see that game for less than 1 ticket to see Abilene Christian at Tulsa.
Now I'm not paying to go watch that game. All right, Lindsay, give me your thoughts on UTSA going to play Texas A&M.
Well, that's going to be one of these lopsided games. A&M should walk away with this one early. I don't think they're going to look back over their shoulder. They're just a superior team in every way. UTSA doesn't compete well with teams of A&M's caliber. So look for A&M to win by 3 or 4 touchdowns. They're going to cover that spread no problem. And I'll take the over, which is at 56.5.
All right. I don't want to ask Hunter because I know what he's going to say. Hunter, What do you think about UTSA?
Against A&M.
No, just in general.
Oh, I hate them. Joke of a fan base and joke of a university. Collegiate environment store. But before I cut promos on UTSA and take up time, I don't know. We'll see what against A&M. UTSA's come out every season and tried to play well against FBS opponents, skipping practices and things for like power opponents and preparing for them specifically. We'll see what they try to do against A&M. I would
All right.
say like they come out and try to look good, but I agree with Lindsay. I think A&M runs away with it. They're going to heat up the A&M's going to heat up uh not Cade McCown, like the Owen McCown. I don't think he does well when he faces a lot of pressure, especially when he doesn't have the other team's playbook. Because that's the only time he ever played well is when he had the other team's playbook. And karma's a thing in football for some weird reason. It just happens when you're a cheater and a loser, and you buy the other team's playbook. Typically, what happens is that eventually a team finds you that's way more advanced than you could possibly hope to prepare for, and they whoop your ass. So I think that's what's going to happen
So
3 weeks in a row.
Mo Bamba played in this at this game.
I mean, it doesn't really have any relation to either school, so I don't know.
Yeah, I just love making jokes. Hunter is. This is his morning time right now, so he's not as chipper as normal. But, all right.
Sorry.
One of your American games and ask Hunter about it because I think we have a hidden gem here in this one. Can I get his opinion on one of your games, Lindsay?
Is the Hidden Gem Temple at UMass?
No. Although I do believe that one of UMass's very few wins this season.
I agree.
All right. Hunter, does the Abilene Christian at Tulsa game, does that have anything? Do you think Abilene Christian has a chance to win this game?
Yeah. I would always suggest that they should. If Tulsa's anything like they were last year. But Tulsa's got a brand new coach who's motivated, very like different I don't know, energy vibe around the very different cultures to start off with around the program. So we'll see how things shake out to go forward. Abilene Christian, though, they are replacing their quarterback, so we'll see. I do like them in this game. They got a coach who's done well to build aggressive offenses, but again, replacing his OC, replacing his quarterback, we'll see. But I'm gonna go with that. I don't know. I guess I'd go Tulsa based off talent, quote unquote. Not like they have a lot, but should be more than Abilene Christian. But it could be a good game very easily. Really just depends on how Abilene Christians replace their offensive coordinator and their quarterback.
All right, we're going to move on to one of my conferences, the Big Ten. And this is what I can tell you from the Big Ten. I think Maryland's going to smash Florida Atlantic. Maryland's always really good at the beginning of the year. At the end of the year is their problem. Purdue takes on Ball State. Purdue's favored in this game. I hope Purdue wins this game, but I'm not going to be confident. Well, I see the W on the board. Lindsay is taking Tulane to beat Northwestern, so I will have to agree with Lindsay on that one. Indiana takes on Old Dominion, and Indiana's favored by a metric shit ton. We're going to go with Indiana on that one. Penn State takes on Nevada.
Upset of the week?
What?
Is this the upset of the week?
No. The people that are going to be upset is Nevada that they flew all the way. It's a well-paid whooping. So, we got a famous person dropping in on us.
Oh,
Hold on, let me see if I can add him this thing.
it's not Hulk Hogan.
What's going on, Jude?
Hey, Jude.
Hey, what's happening, man? Sorry I'm so late, guys.
All right, well, we voted that you
And on time.
The last guy to show us up is the first guy to buy the round.
Oh, it's on me.
All right, there you go.
Miller Lite's all the way around.
Just a couple more games. Missouri State takes on USC. I think USC wins by a lot. New Mexico takes on Michigan. Not a close game. Albany takes on Iowa. Not a close game. Montana State. I don't know anything about Montana State, Hunter. Are they any good?
Yeah, they're pretty consistently good, but it's all been built off of the quarterback that's no longer there, Tommy Millant. Um, Now I expect them to kind of be like a North Dakota State type reload, not rebuild. We'll have to see. They could give Oregon a good first couple quarters. I just think that Oregon's overall talent will pull away. I don't think it could be quite like Boise State or Idaho last year. I think it'd be a little bit more earlier separation.
All right. So Utah, UCLA. Utah's favored by 5.5. I don't know. I'm indifferent on this one. I think that
I believe in Utah's quarterback more than I believe in UCLA's.
who's the quarterback at UCLA?
Nico, the floor is lava. Sorry,
the-
Leva. Yes, he is really the starter.
Okay.
Is it the guy from Tennessee that transferred for
Yeah.
less money?
Yes.
But by the way, FUCLA.
I mean, honestly, I do like Utah more in this game. Um, Devin Dampier is there. You guys, OC. Utah's still got the same good offensive line they always have.
It's not Kyle.
Um,
I think that's what makes the difference in this game. So,
yeah, I would honestly. I think Utah can win. I mean, maybe by a touchdown at best.
yeah, it'll be one to watch. It's at 10 p.m. on Fox, so we don't have to worry about watching the news. At least here, 'cause I'll be asleep by the time this thing. It's halftime.
Man, it's coming on that late.
Yeah. Well, I think it's Eastern time.
Hey, what was the consensus on the big game this weekend? Everyone is split down the middle, or?
Well, we're going to talk about that here in just a minute, the marquee matchup.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, so we'll get to it in a second. We're just doing the rundown, the conference rundowns right now. And then I'll just kind of ask you about. So what we'll do, what I've kind of explained, is what we're going to do is I'll go to your conference. I'll ask you some questions about certain games in there, and then we'll hop over to the marquee matchups. And then what we'll do is in the marquee matchups, that's where we'll go head to head on wins versus losses. Instead of doing like picking 64 games, we're going to pick like 10 games.
Who's leading after last weekend? We all had the same picks pretty much.
Yeah, I think we're all 4-1.
I picked USF.
USF last week to win this week.
Yeah, because we picked the USF game.
Games.
Yeah, something like that.
Are you farting in there or what?
No, there's just like the ambulance right
Oh.
outside.
We can't hear it.
Oh.
Hear it.
It's quite loud to me.
Oh, all right. Sorry. All right. So that's going to wrap up the Big Ten. Let's roll over to the Big 12 real quick. Take a peek at their schedule this week. We've already covered TCU at North Carolina. We've covered Utah at UCLA. We all kind of know where we're leaning on that one. Other than Georgia Tech and Colorado, I really don't think I have a. Well, we have two tomorrow night. These are the two big ones I want to talk about. I'm kind of this, the two big games that I want to talk about. Hold on a second. I just got. It just suck whenever something I watches you and you're like, I am mesmerized by this. What is this? Oh, all right. So tomorrow night, 7 p.m. on Fox, we have Auburn taking on Baylor. I am a big believer in Baylor, and until their coach proves me wrong. Hey, Christian, what's going on? I think Baylor's going to win. I'm a big Sawyer Robertson fan. I don't like Auburn. I don't hate Auburn. I don't like Hugh Freeze. I'm just not a Hugh Freeze guy. I'm not a Hugh Freeze believer, and I think that Baylor wins this game. I think they have the wrong team favored. So I'm going to go with that. And then Georgia Tech at Colorado. Now, I know that Georgia Tech's traveling to altitude to play this game. I think Georgia Tech smashes Colorado. I think it's bad. Georgia Tech is a sneaky good team. They are your dark horse contender for the ACC. That is my bold pick for the season. I think that Georgia Tech wins this game, not by 4.5, but by 2 touchdowns. 14 points. So, as far as the other Big 12 games, Robert Morris at West Virginia. I mean, it's going to be cool to see Rich Rod back coaching. Like Hunter said, I think it's going to take a little time for that to maturate and get going again. I guess North Dakota at Kansas State might be a fun game to watch. I'm not really versed on the Dakota schools.
Chris Kleinman's never played when he was a coach of North Dakota State. North Dakota never got within 17 points of him.
Kansas State let me down last week.
Let us all down.
Hawaii. Well, they didn't let me down because I took the under and it ended up caught the under. So I was like, yes.
Nice.
A late touchdown and Hunter's like ball game. I go, son of a bitch, they went over and then they called the touchdown back. I was like, yes, I win. What a degenerate gambler asshole I am. All right. With that said, we have Hawaii traveling to Arizona. I don't know much about Arizona. I know that I did not like the way they looked last year. I don't know that Hawaii's got enough for Arizona, but it should be a fun game to watch. I think it's going to be a lot of turnovers, like unforced turnovers, and that's gonna kind of wrap us there. I mean, Kansas takes on Wagner. They're going to beat Wagner by a lot. Houston beat SFA tonight. No big surprise. And then Oklahoma State beat UT Martin. No surprise, right? Other than Oklahoma State didn't beat them by probably enough. They beat them 27-7, but you got a Thursday matchup, first game of the year. Kind of got what you got on that one. It's. I think Oklahoma State's going to be one of those works in progress where they're going to be like under the radar for a while this season, and all of a sudden, boom! You see Gundy's back with this really powerful offense once it starts to click. I'm taking Baylor over Auburn, Colorado to lose to Georgia Tech, West Virginia to beat Robert Morris, Iowa State to take down South Dakota, K-State to win, Texas Tech to win against Arkansas Peanut Butter, BYU gets a win with their freshman quarterback against Portland State. Arizona State's going to win against Northern Arizona. I don't think that's a particularly close game. We've already picked Arizona over Hawaii. I think Utah. I agree with the panel that Utah is going to beat UCLA. As Jude would say, what was that, Jude? F UCLA?
F UCLA.
There you go. And then,
hey, quick question. Hunter could probably answer this. What would the over/under be for? We were talking about Oklahoma State, about Coach Gundy's kid getting a start this year.
He's not on the team.
Is he on the team still?
Yeah, I think he is. I think he was not recruited by anybody else. I think he had like a Division II offer, but he went to go play for his old man.
And maybe his younger son. I know Gunnar Gundy. Gunnar Gundy was like a 3-star, and he had some offers to go play at Tulsa and shit like that. And then he went to Oak State, played 1 or 2 games, didn't look very good. Transferred over to Emporia State, Kansas. Ended up being one of the better quarterbacks in D3. But
Zane Flores was the quarterback tonight for Oklahoma State.
well, it was Haas Haney to start, and then I don't know what happened. I haven't been able to figure out if he got hurt or something. Zane Flores came in and took over for the rest of the game after the first quarter. But going by the box score, it looks like Haas Haney had good command of the offense.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't know they were playing until I looked up that they won. So, with that said, on to the next one. Let's go to Jude Conference here, the Mountain West. All right, Jude, we've got 3 games in the book from last week. Did anything impress you about any of the Mountain West schools last week? Hawaii beating Stanford. Did you see that one coming?
That impressed me. I know Stanford's one of them East Coast schools, right? ACC team. Had to travel all the way to Hawaii. But that was pretty impressive.
All right, what about Boise State losing to South Florida today?
Yeah, man, what's the opposite of impress? I guess I was impressed that Hunter called that. that was pretty good.
Well, we kind of both agreed on Alex Gillette. I think he's he's a good season away from probably getting a really big time job and really impressing at the next level. So whether that be a Big 12 school or a something like that, I don't think he's going to hop to the SEC or the Big 10. He could get into a lower tier Big 10 school, but I really think he's probably a Big 12 or ACC guy coming up next. He's going to have to make that. If the SEC, Big 10 are really like that A level, then the B level is your Big 12 and your ACC to some extent.
Like when Saban had to go to Michigan State before he went to LSU. Like he had to start somewhere.
Yeah.
Saban did also start off in the MAC. It was kind of a natural progression.
Yeah. So I saw that, and then Wyoming dominated Akron tonight, winning 10-0. Dominant performance by Wyoming.
Kind of was.
All right. So tomorrow night we got a really exciting game, Jude. I think there's going to be a lot of points scored in this game because Sam Houston, the Bearcats, Prison City really showed up to play last week, and they host UNLV at 8:30 on CBS Sports Network from Energy Stadium, Energy, I don't know, Shell Energy Stadium. I think it's Shell Energy Stadium. UNLV's favored by 9.5. Jude, who are you picking in this game, UNLV or Sam Houston State?
I'm going to go with the Running Rebels all the way on this one. I think they should handle them quite handily, to be honest with you.
All right. Then at 9:30 p.m., Central Michigan takes on San Jose State. The Jose's are coached by Coach Ken. They're going to Austin next week. Do they look past Central Michigan, or do they go and handle business?
They handle business 2 weeks in this weekend, next week. But yeah, they handle business. Well, they got to book their flight, right? They got to book their hotel. That's all business.
Okay, yeah. Got to bring the right uniforms. Can't lose them.
All right,
That's all part of business.
All right, Jude. You missed out on the Air Force Academy. We said they were going to beat Bucknell. Lindsay said they're going to slaughter Bucknell. Hunter said Bucknell's got one of the best offenses in Division 27.
It's just FCS.
Number jokes. Jude, who are you picking in this game? You like the Falcons in this one?
100%, man. That's my university, anyways. When we're doing the military schools, so heck yeah, I'm gonna roll with my Falcons.
All right, and then I have a game. I'm gonna let everybody kind of chip in on this one. UTEP at Utah State. Jude, who do you like in this game? Utah State is favored by 5.5.
Aggies by at least a touchdown. Yeah, they'll cover that spread.
Okay, Hunter, who do you like in this game?
I mean, both teams have new coach. Well, Scotty Waldron was at UTEP last year, and they got better, quote unquote. I don't really see how they went 5-7. Anyway, and then Utah State got Bronco Mendenhall and quite a few good players from New Mexico. Retained a few good players. I mean, the popular pick would say UTEP because they're going to win 9 games, and I like Scotty Waldron. But I hate UTEP, and I hate El Paso, and I hate anyone that likes the UTEP minors or friendly relationships on rocks outside of stadium. I'm going to go with Utah State purely out of hate. Anyway.
All right, Lindsay, what do you like on this one? Are you going to go with the Aggies from Utah State, or are you going to go with Hand Job U at UTEP?
I'm going to go with an upset from UTEP on this one. Not by much. Late in the game, they're going to pull it out.
Oh, by just a little nudge?
By just a scooch.
All right. Does everybody know what I'm talking about other than Hunter? Or do either one of y'all know what I'm talking about other than Hunter?
What, Hand Job U?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So UTEP was playing Texas like years and years ago. We were watching the game. And they like panned to these people on the rock, because a bunch of fans are sitting on the rocks outside the stadium. And this guy's girlfriend's hands is down his pants. And I'm like, does anybody see that? I mean, what's that right there? Oh, I love live TV. They circle everything.
The best part is that it wasn't like they just immediately cut away. They sat there for a good couple seconds, and I was just like, "Oh, look at that!"
Musburger have been on the call. Wow, what a happy couple!
They Brent Musburger was awesome. I can't believe they gave him crap for pointing out that AJ McCarron had a good looking wife or girlfriend.
Oh, he's not wrong. All right, Jude, we're going to head over to the Pac-12.
Yeah,
The
I'm a
Pac Dos
Mountain West guy.
Eckies.
I'm a Mountain West guy, guys.
All right, Jude. The Pac-12. Washington State hosts Idaho on the CW network at 9 p.m. I don't think this game's going to be close. I think Washington State wins by a ton. What do you think?
I think they win going away so badly that will be the game I fall asleep to that night.
All right, Jude. 9:30 p.m. on ESPN, the four-letter network. Cal travels to Oregon State to take on the Oregon State Beavers and Malik Murphy. Does Cal have anything for Oregon State in this game?
I don't know, man. Kind of like Stanford, man. You know, playing that West Coast time. You know, for an East Coast school, that's kind of rough. So I'm gonna go ahead and roll with Oregon State on that one.
All right, can I quickly ask Hunter about this because he's a big Malik Murphy truther. Hunter, what do you think on this one?
See Malik Murphy, truther. I mean, he's proved that he's a good quarterback. He's got a big arm. I don't know. Oregon State's got to take advantage of his throwing capability. Put the ball far downfield. I mean, we'll see with Cal. They're a big. You lose all your best players, and you bring in Brian Harsin to coach your offense. I think that happened at Texas, and the coach got fired. Well, asked to retire. So I don't know.
It's for the kids.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Oregon State. I don't know by a lot. I think Cal's talented enough, coached well enough that they'll be competitive. It should be a good game. But I like Oregon State.
I forgot that Jude is our Big Ten expert because,
There is no Pac-12 yet.
yes. And I'm the Conference USA, the Conference of Champions, because they have to have a champion. And I promise the next time we go live, Christian will have a link as long as it's not too late for him because he does have school tomorrow. And I think he's got to be up at like 5 in the morning for football practice. All right, Conference USA had a game last week. Sam Houston State ends up losing in a absolute showdown with Western Kentucky. Wow, what a game. Maverick McIver. Hunter called it. He was going to have a big game. It was a big game. He threw for 400 yards in a season opener. And Western Kentucky wins. Tonight, we've got Jacksonville State and UCF. They were on delay earlier. I don't know what the score is. I'd have to kind of look over here and see what's going on.
Right now, they're tied 10-10 with 4 to go in the fourth.
Yeah. So that's going to come down to, boy, Scott Frost is really going to be on the butt pucker and see if they lose to Jacksonville State. Let's go Gamecocks is all I'm saying. I would pick Gamecocks here. Go Cox.
It's not a good sign for any Scott Frost truthers.
Delaware
That may
State
have
travel to
been
take on
one.
Delaware. Delaware State is a HBCU, if I'm correct on that one.
Mm-hmm.
They look good. They look good for a while, and then Delaware, the Blue Hens they're a really good program in FCS. So
Well, they're FBS now.
FBS now, but they were a really good program. So Delaware's got a really good product. Just remember, Joe Flacco is a product of Delaware. Now I know he went to another school before he went to Delaware. I got it, but he did go to Delaware. He was a Blue Hen.
Yep.
Just
Yes, there was.
introduce NFL talent at Delaware. All right,
He was. Yeah.
Friday. Kennesaw State travels to Winston-Salem, North Carolina, to take on Wake Forest. This isn't going to be a close game. This could be annihilation. Kennesaw State fired their coach last year, I think, and they're starting fresh this year. Not a close game. Wake Forest wins by a lot. Bethune-Cookman travels to take on Florida International. I'm going to go with FIU from Pitbull Stadium in Miami, Florida. We've already talked about UNLV versus Sam Houston. Jude went with the Mountain West team. I'm going to go with the Prison City Bearcats here. I don't know why they're playing this game at 8:30. This town is not safe to be in that late at night. You know what I mean? Like, you don't go wandering around. You don't go wandering around Huntsville, Texas at 1 in the morning after a football game. Lindsay could speak the truth on this. You know what I mean?
Sorry, there'll only
I
be
don't
like
think there's any
45
good
people
time to be
there
there.
anyway. So
Yeah. Well, yeah, they'll just have, but at least you know it'll be on the prison radio, right? They're the prison radio network. On Saturday, we have Maine taking on Liberty. Liberty wins. We have Austin Peay traveling to take on Middle Tennessee. Quickly, Hunter, Austin Peay's mascot. I know what it is.
Governors.
There you go. All right, I'm going to hit Hunter with another one. We have Northern Alabama taking on Western Kentucky. Northern Alabama, Hunter.
Lions.
It's ridiculous. Missouri State.
Bears.
Southeast Louisiana.
Southeast Louisiana. They might be the Lions as well.
Damn it. Bryant.
Bryant. Bulldogs.
Ah, so, how do you know this? You couldn't get straight A's in high school, but how do you know this?
UMass. UMass.
Oh, that's
Minutemen.
you know that one.
UMass.
UMass is Minutemen. Said that.
Oh, yeah.
Even
Yeah.
Lindsay knew that one.
Yeah, well,
Well,
all my
he's
kids went
from there.
Most famous athlete out of UMass, Dr. J.
he was
Yeah, Dr. J went to
Wow.
UMass.
Up the swamp here.
a while back.
You didn't know that, Lindsay?
No,
Let's keep going with the
Oh,
picks.
Hunter's on the time crunch here. All right. Let's get to the. We're gonna quickly cover the Sun Belt and then the SEC. We'll get going. I'm just gonna pick a couple games from each conference to talk to. We're gonna go with Hunter here. All right. Mississippi State at Southern Miss. Do you see anything? Do you see Mississippi State getting upset in this game at all?
They could.
Like,
Southern Miss brought in basically the Sun Belt championship team out of Marshall, and they did fine enough in recruiting in the portal. For all stuff's proven to be a good coach. Southern Miss historically has beaten Mississippi State fairly regularly. Honestly, I think the onus is more on Mississippi State than on Southern Miss. Southern Miss got to play loose, play fast. Mississippi State's got a lot to prove. I'm gonna go with the Bulldogs, but I would not be surprised if the Golden Eagles don't win. I wouldn't be surprised if the Golden Eagles win.
all right. Coastal Carolina at Virginia. Anything there? Would be a good back.
Coastal, I don't know. We'll see with Coastal. Virginia's seemingly supposed to be good. They're getting looked at to go to the SEC apparently for some reason. I guess I don't know.
Everybody needs a win. You know what I mean?
I mean, I chalk up to a $20 billion endowment. I do like Virginia in this game. I think Tony Elliott gets something turned around there.
They look better at times last year. I don't know what is going on behind the scenes, but I would hate to be Tony Elliott. I
You
don't
gotta
think
get rid of the players that you're yelling at on the sideline. If you're yelling at them on the sideline, kick them out of the program
Yeah.
or fighting.
All right, I got two more games. I got two more games in the Sun Belt. Georgia Southern and Fresno State. Does this turn into anything, or is this travel for Georgia Southern?
Scorefest.
Huh?
Scorefest.
Do you think it's gonna be exciting to watch? Georgia State's
yeah.
favored point and a half in this game.
Oh wait, Georgia State or Georgia Southern?
No, Georgia Southern. Georgia Southern.
Yeah, Scorefest. Clay Helton likes the passing offense. Fresno State's got a great passer in EJ Warner. I like a lot of points to be scored in this game. I like the over at 51.5. I like the over by a lot. I'm gonna go with Georgia Southern though, but I mean anyone can win that one. A lot of points.
All right. The last year you're gonna watch this on the Candlelight Television Network here.
Awful.
East Michigan at Texas State at 7 p.m. You know, at least the game's going to start in the light, but it's going to finish in the dark. How dark will it be? And does Texas State?
Extremely. So a couple of years ago, Eastern Michigan ran straight through Texas State, and so it's time for a little payback. No, but honestly, Texas State brings back a very talented roster. They have announced Brad Jackson, redshirt freshman, as the starting quarterback. But knowing DJ Kinney, Keldrick Luster will probably get some play. Probably other guys will get some play. Texas State brings back the biggest offensive line in college football, an average of 6'5" and 320 pounds. A massive offense. That's an NFL size offensive line. Well, I don't know about muscle mass, but it's a big offensive line for a team that respects to run the ball a lot. I think it's going to kind of look like that 2014 Baylor team that ran the ball on anyone they wanted to. I'm going to go with Texas State. Favored by 13.5. I'll be a straight homer. We'll cover. Anyway,
Man, 6'5", 320. That's a big line.
All right, let's go to the SEC. We're not going to talk about Texas, Ohio State yet. We've already talked about Syracuse and Tennessee. Do you see Syracuse being competitive against Tennessee in this game?
I think they compete well. But overall, I think Tennessee will win. But again, it's a neutral site game, so anything can happen. Fran Brown did coach at Georgia, so he knows how to beat Tennessee. So we'll see.
All right, and then mainly the other games are Toledo's and Kentucky. That should be an easy win for Kentucky.
I don't know.
Marshall, Georgia. I don't just if there's a
Georgia's gonna crush Marshall.
if there is a mercy rule in college football, I think this might be the game that gets the mercy rule.
This is the first game, and the long line of Marshall fans need to accept that Carlsbad made them better, and that they're not some sort of like G5 Alabama. They're just Marshall.
All right,
And
I'm going to say Alabama and Florida State for one of the marquee matchups, even though I know a lot of us don't believe in Florida State.
call it the bulletin board material game.
Bulletin board. We're going to say LSU and Clemson for the marquee matchups. I'm going to go to this game. I want to know Tech at South Carolina. Is this any kind of interesting early?
It's in Atlanta. That's probably the most interesting part about it. Tech's wearing cool orange uniforms. South Carolina's going to beat the shit out of them. Tech's not a well-coached team.
Does
That's my opinion.
Flowers have 200 yards of passing and 100 yards of rushing in this game?
He easily could.
Now he could easily have 200 and 200.
Yeah, I think that whatever stat lines you want to imagine of South Carolina beating the brakes off of Tech, imagine those, because that's what's going to happen. Right, Tech's going to roll with Kyron Drones, who Tech fans want you to believe is what Lenore Sellers is. Lenore Sellers is a guy that has some things to clean up, but is an elite player. Yeah, I mean, it's to me, it's pretty obvious. South Carolina's going to crush Tech, and the quicker Tech realizes that Brent Pryce is taking them nowhere, the quicker they can get back to being a good program.
All right, that's going to be the conference breakdown. We are running a little long today, but that's okay because it's our first show like this. We're going to run with the let's go with the ones to watch for this week. Games to watch for this week. Now, I picked Auburn at Baylor, Colorado at Georgia Tech. We've already kind of talked about those a little bit. Jude, Lindsay, Hunter, do y'all want to comment on Auburn at Baylor?
I think Baylor wins.
I agree. I'm not a big Hugh Freeze guy either.
Lindsay?
I would also take Baylor on this one.
Is that because you took Baylor?
What's that?
Is that because Jude took Baylor?
No, it's because I was seeing that before. I'll give Jude credit. Sure. I'll piggyback off him.
All right, Colorado and Georgia Tech. Is there anything there, Lindsay, that you think Georgia Tech can't do against Colorado?
Besides win? Kidding. Now, Georgia Tech should have this one. I think Colorado has had its day. I think last year was their year. This year is not. I look for Georgia Tech to walk away with this one pretty handily.
Right now, we're all picking Baylor. We're all picking Jude. Are you picking Colorado or Georgia Tech?
Georgia Tech.
I know who Hunter's picking in this game. Hunter thinks that Georgia Tech's going to win by probably the over.
I don't know about that, but I do know teams that have a net success rate of 4+ yards on run plays have not lost to Colorado yet with Deion Sanders as the coach. I don't think that changes. I think Georgia Tech does the same thing. Haynes King, career day. I don't really believe in Georgia Tech. I see no reason to believe, or I don't really believe in Colorado. I see no reason to believe in Colorado. They brought in a quarterback that got no looks anywhere else in the Power 5 when he went to the transfer. And yeah, just Georgia Tech's a way better coach team. They're just overall better team.
All right, we're going to go to Sunday night, 6:30 p.m. on ABC. Catholics versus Convicts. Notre Dame at Miami. This is at the Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens. I'm going with the Golden Domers. Somebody pick the Canes. I need somebody to go against me. We can't all be right.
No, I'll go against you on this one. I'd like Miami for the upset on this one. It's going to be a close game anyway. This one will come down to who has the ball last. I think it'll be Miami. They should win. They're gonna win probably. I'm gonna guess they'll kick a late game field goal to pull it out.
I know Jude's not gonna pick Notre Dame.
Well, can't pick a tie anymore. And the how did they say, the lesser of two enemies?
Yeah,
I can't stand Miami. Now I am going to go with Notre Dame. I'm going to take Notre Dame to win this game by a touchdown.
Hunter, what are you thinking on this one?
I'm thinking Notre Dame, but something to consider. The last time Notre Dame won in South Bend was, make sure I get this
And
right here, 1981.
that was it. That was like
Oh, I'm
Joe.
sorry. That's the last time that Notre Dame won in Miami.
So they're
So
due.
44 years. That's a lot of time. Now, they haven't played in Miami a lot, so that could be part of it. Uh, I mean, Notre Dame needs to win this game.
All right. Well,
Needs
I'm
to.
gonna tell you right now. If it
You
comes down to
cannot lose to Mario Cristobal.
if
You
it comes
just
down
can't.
to Notre Dame is gonna win the game. If a kick has to be made, I can tell you. I've been to a game. I watched Miami's kicker kick the ball. He sucked. Choke job artist.
But even a blind squirrel can find a nut. It
No,
might be his day.
He's finding shit. He sucks.
Every clutch moment, you're just like, oh, here we go.
Yep. Well, I could have put my, if they let you in-game bet on like if he shanks the kick, I would just be like, which direction? You know, can I get a parlay on which direction he shanks?
Yeah, I'm picking Notre Dame to win. I think CJ Carr is the future there. Great passer, decent enough runner. Jeremiah Love, Heisman candidate out of the backfield. I like Notre Dame a lot.
I like Jeremiah Love a lot. All right. With that said, we're going to move on to. I don't really want to. I hate putting this game in there. It's a marquee matchup because of the time slot and the date. It being on Monday, September 1st at 7 p.m. TCU at North Carolina. I think TCU slays North Carolina. I don't think it's 3.5 points. I think it's probably 2 touchdowns. Hunter, what do you think on this one?
Something like that.
Jude, what do you think? TCU at North Carolina.
I think great coaches, when they have more than a week to prepare, are a difficult matchup for any team. And Belichick's had forever to prepare for this game, so I don't think TCU smashes them. I think it's going to be a close game, and I'll just go ahead and take the Tar Heels to win by a field goal.
Lindsay, I think I've already asked you about this game, but do you want to chime in real quick?
Yeah, I'm rooting for North Carolina, but I do think TCU is going to pull it out, but not by much. I think the line is fairly close on this one. I'll take the line on it.
All right. Number 9, LSU at Clemson, 6:30 p.m. on ABC. We watched Clemson play their final game last season, and they are really good. And I don't like LSU and Brian Kelly in openers. They just don't win. I'm taking Clemson to win. They got Clemson by 4.5. I think that you could probably take Clemson to cover that without a problem. Jude, what are you thinking on that one?
I also think Clemson will cover. Dabo will have his boys ready to play.
Oh, I tell you what, they when they warm up, they are exciting to warm up. You know what I mean? They are as an action-packed warm up. Like Texas was kind of like nonchalant, kind of doing business. Clemson was over there popping whistles, hyping each other up. They were ready to go.
They do this thing where they all lock arms and like walk to the end zone and pray to God. I mean, I say pray to God. Dabo talks directly to God, picks up his phone, looks at the sky. He's got an open line, like the sun shines right on him. I don't know what's going on there, but yeah.
All right, so you take Clemson on that one?
Yeah, I think Clemson wins. I think that it could be a score fest, but knowing Clemson, good defense, AJ Terrell's little brother there is going to be ready to play. They have the best looking defensive line in college football, and TJ Parker, Peter Woods. They've got one of the most exciting quarterbacks, Cade Klubnik, great wide receiver core, Bryant Wesco, and TJ Moore Jr. I think Clemson wins. Honestly, they could win by more. Like everyone's like, oh, Clemson could win by a touchdown. Why not 14 points?
All right, Lindsay, what are you thinking on this one?
LSU is going to have a surprise for Clemson in this one, and I'm talking like crying game level surprise. No one is, but when it happens, boy, we're all going to be rocked back on our heels. So, like crying game, look for LSU to pull this one out. Win late win.
Nice. Well done. Well done.
That's my bold prediction.
All right. On to 2:30 p.m. on ABC from Doak Campbell Stadium in Tallahassee, Florida. Number 8 Alabama travels to Florida State to take on the Seminoles. Now, Florida State has definitely given Alabama plenty of bulletin board material. If there was a game not to give somebody too much bulletin board material, it would be the first game of the season in Alabama. I think that, I've leaned Florida State in this game the whole time. But, like Hunter said last week, there was somebody that's supposed to eat a certain something that never happened. So the curse continues. I think Bama wins. I take Bama to cover and Bama and take the over. Dude, what do you think of Bama at Florida State?
Bulletin material, I mean, that can really drive a team. So, yeah, I'm going to take Bama. I'm going to take them to cover the spread.
All right, Hunter. Tied at
Until 3-2-1 Noel eats dog shit out of a solo cup with a spoon, they will
That's
not be
right,
a quality
huh?
opponent. You're out there somewhere 3-2-1 Noel. Your friends know who you are. Until you eat dog shit out of a red solo cup with a spoon, Florida State will win nothing.
All right, Lindsay, what are you thinking on this one?
I want to find reasons to have Florida State take some kind of consolation away in this one, but I can't. I think Alabama, when walking away, they'll more than cover that spread. Look for the over.
Does Alabama make Florida State eat dog shit?
They really can't make them do anything they don't want to do, but they should.
I don't know.
All right.
Close.
And we're going to get to the big game of the weekend. Number 1 Texas at number 3 Ohio State. 11 a.m. on Fox. If you want to go to this game, they have tickets for $225, which I call bullshit. I don't think there's any tickets available for this thing. Ohio State's favored by a 1.5, but if you look at the FPI, Texas is actually favored in this one. I think this is a betting line type thing where they're trying to get the sharp money moving. And that's why the spread is the way it is. But we are here for pick 'em and pick 'em alone. We don't condone gambling unless you win, and then cut us in. That's all. All right, Jude. I know you're
illegal.
Ohio State and their very freshman quarterback who's never played it down in college football ever.
Yeah, years ago, Matt Leinart had never played it down in college football, and he went into Auburn and knocked off the number 3 or number 2 rated team in the country
Auburn.
that year at that time.
Coached by Tommy Tuberville. Come on, it's Auburn.
What's that?
I said it was Auburn, coached by Tommy Tuberville. That's not the same.
Yeah, but I'm gonna, man. The number 1 pick in next year's NFL draft is gonna have probably some good numbers, and I don't know what you call a college career where he only starts 1 season. He makes the Peach Bowl or something like that. I don't even know. Is the Peach Bowl a playoff game?
All the NY6 are playoff games now.
Okay, so then he makes like the Liberty Bowl or something. I don't know.
Whoa.
Get ahead of ourselves here.
Get a little.
I'm gonna take Ohio State, and I'm gonna take them to win 27-21. Archman, he does everything he possibly can to win the game, but someone's gonna drop a pass in the end zone. Last play of the game or something like that.
Counting Europe's still on the team apparently.
All right, Lindsay, I want to save Hunter for last. Hunter's he's got an interesting take on this one.
What bothers me most about this game is I found myself doing something I never thought I'd do, and that is I agree with Stephen A. from ESPN that he does not know why Ohio State is favored to win. I also don't know why. Texas has really good talent that they were able to preserve from last year in Kyler Ford and Arch Manning. Ohio State does not. I can't understand why the line would favor Ohio State. So I'm going to take Texas to win by at least a touchdown, and I think it'll be maybe a lower scoring game because I think there'll be some sloppy play. So I'll take the under.
I do agree with the sloppy play as far as offenses go. Texas is the number one defense in the nation. It's going to show up. 27 points, I think, is probably a stretch for Ohio State. I don't see them scoring more than probably 13 at most. And I think it's going to look a lot like Texas versus Michigan from last year when they won the defending national champion last year. Now, Texas didn't play well against Ohio State at the end of the season. Ohio State goes on to win the national championship. Congratulations. That happens. But I'm going to go with the Horns on this one. And I think that the number one defense in the nation has only gotten better with additions of Justice Terry, Cole Brevard, and the maturations of Anthony Hill, Colin Simmons, and Malik Murphy. Malik Murphy plays at Oregon State, and Cass is getting tired. So, Hunter, let's wrap this thing up so we can stick a fork in this thing.
Quick shot. I'm going to go with the quarterback that's thrown multiple times, over 100 passes, has one of the best QBRs for that. Yes, I know he didn't play super light competition, but in big moments and big games, he showed up. That run against A&M was pretty awesome. He played well against Ohio State in the limited action he was allowed to get in. More than anything else, though, this isn't really about. You look at the teams are very similar, talented, similar snap counts. Two big difference areas. One team has a quarterback that's played college football somewhat. One team has a guy who has yet to take a collegiate snap. One team is replacing all their pass rushers. The other team retains the best freshman pass rusher in the country and one of the best pass rushing linebackers in the country. So I'm going to go with Texas. Not really as a homer pick, just because even if I was complete neutral observer, I think that Texas has the advantage in this game. I know it's the shoe. I know Ohio State doesn't lose openers. Texas doesn't lose openers. Take your pick, but I like the Horns in this one.
All right, so something new for the season. What we're going to do a little bit different. Instead of giving everybody their own little window to say goodbye and say what up, right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to look for everybody's G5 national champion of this year. Who's the best team in the G5 this year? Who's going to be it, dude? Who's the best G5 team in the country?
I look up G5 teams.
Can Jude hear you?
I can hear. I'm thinking.
Right. Say something I'm going to agree with because I have no idea who the G5 teams are.
Lindsay, you're going to go UMass is not the best G5 team.
I knew that going in, no matter.
All right, I'll let Hunter do it because then once he says it, then everybody will kind of agree. Hunter, best G5 team this season.
Naval Academy.
I was going to say that.
There you go.
Yep.
Hands down, right?
Hands down.
Hands down. USF just laid down the gauntlet. We'll see. They beat the shit out of Boise State.
Well, USF also plays a pretty tough schedule, I think, don't they?
Yeah, I got
Still
to
doesn't mean they can't be the best.
guys.
What's that?
Jude went sideways.
Oh. He's just showing off. He can hang 10.
I'm going to be like Jude now.
With that said, did Jude have to leave?
I don't know.
Maybe he had a call coming in. We're going to kill time when Jude gets back. We'll kill a little bit. We'll say, hey, what's up to everybody? Quick Range Tool Junkie, thanks for dropping in. Pat Paulson, thanks for dropping in. Christian, next live stream we go on, you will be on. Brian Stewart, good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. We know Doug is not watching, because Doug is probably at the Nebraska game right now, I would imagine, or he's watching the Nebraska game.
Well, they're in KC, so.
Hey, he could travel.
I'm just saying.
And it's a close one. 20-17 right now. 20-17 Nebraska. So.
Yeah, that's not good, by the way, that Nebraska's in a dogfight with fucking Cincinnati.
Jude, you got any G5 predictions? We go Hawaii? We go the old Mountain West team?
Not Hawaii. Mountain West. I mean, yeah, Hunter's probably right. It's probably going to be Navy. I'm going to agree with him.
All right. Well, that's going to wrap the show up. Like I said, instead of doing individual outros, we're just going to thank you for joining in. Anybody got anything they want to say? They can say it, speak now or forever hold your peace, and remember to
I
spay.
fucking hate Eastern Michigan.
Yeah.
We are SC. Fight on. B is for victory. Can't spell SEC without SC.
Hey, I did that the other week. I was like, wait, that's the other guy.
Yeah, Lindsay, remember to spay and neuter your pets.
This is
Can't spell college football with a ball gag in your
neuter football
mouth.
players.
Wait,
You can't spell spay and neuter without a P.
Ray?
Was that a Ray?
Hey, good night, guys. I'm sorry. I got to jump off now.
All right,
It was a
It's
hoot
good seeing
though.
you, dude.
Good seeing everyone. I'll see you all next week.
bye.
Good night.
Bye.
Oh no, my screen dropped out. Okay, I'm back. No, I'm not. We're still on.
You still have to
Still
can the
alive.
stream.
I'm trying to.
It's the post-show show.
It's the post-show show.
PSPS.
Stuck on a live
SP.
before. We are stuck on live.
All right, now
All right.
part 2 of the live stream.
Oh, here we go. We're finally, yes, we